older creations, they were getting killed. Marvel was killing them off, or putting them, in the case of Tony Stark, putting them into comas, or making them de-aging, or making them old, like Captain America, to make way for these new characters to take on the mantles of these characters. And they did a lot of them. Some of them worked. Like I liked, like the ones I felt worked were Jane Foster Thor. Thought that worked very well.
Well, and Jason Aaron's he's just brilliant. So I mean that and he never wrote Odinson out though. I mean Odinson's been through that.
Out. Same way with when Falcon took over for Captain America, you still had Steve Rogers. He was still active.
They were doing dual. I think now they're doing dual Captain America. They're both Captain America.
And Falcon, of course, in my opinion, natural successor to Captain America.
I thought he should have got it 30 years ago.
Kamala
before
Khan.
Bucky again. Fuck that. Should have gave it to fucking Sam Wilson.
Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel. I love the Miss Marvel book. I thought it was fantastic. I think she's a fantastic character. Those ones I think work. But then when you get to ones like Cho isn't bad. I will give you this. There are some things with Cho that I do enjoy. Like he's had interactions with Hercules that I really enjoyed, where he's kind of like, I'm the Hulk, and Hercules like, I don't care. You're not the Hulk. You know. Well, Hercules will knock him down a peg.
Banner Hulk is strongest there is.
He's strongest there is.
That's the whole point of this episode.
Exactly. He is the strongest. His movie outings, as far as a solo character, have not been as good.
No, they haven't got it right yet. They haven't.
Now the single movies. Now him in like ensemble.
Yeah, the Avengers, he was great. That was good.
And I still have to see Thor Ragnarok. But I mean, it's Hulk fighting Surtur and Fenris Wolf. I mean, come on.
Well, here's number one. Whether or not people think the CGI is convincing or whether it looks good, you cannot have fucking Lou Ferrigno painted green. It don't work. It didn't work with Chiklis as the Thing. It don't work with Ferrigno. The Hulk is 8 feet tall at least, and he's huge. His mass is beyond human. You can't just have a regular guy.
I mean, for the times, Ferrigno worked for the time.
Well, I mean, they couldn't do CGI. What else are you gonna do?
And I will give credit to Michael Chiklis. Out of everything in those movies, I did enjoy Chiklis as Ben Grimm. I thought he actually did do a pretty good Ben Grimm.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just when
it's
all you got.
The rest of it was horrible.
The worst thing about those is the Reed Richards dancing at the fucking bachelor party. Oh my god.
I mean, we could go with the unreleased Roger Corman thing in the Fantastic Four.
Still the best version of the Fantastic Four ever made.
On screen. That's what's sad. That is still the best Fantastic Four. I own it. I own that movie on a bootleg.
One of my well, we're getting off topic of the Hulk, but I'll tell you, a really good version of what I thought embodied the Fantastic Four perfectly was that one season anime series that they did. The Fantastic Four. That was fucking brilliant. They nailed the Fantastic Four with that cartoon, and I don't know why it only went one season. It should have got several.
Now, with the Hulk, he's been part of every Avengers cartoon series that there is. He had
his own series.
I enjoyed Hulk Agents of Smash.
Not too bad. I saw a couple episodes of it. It was a little kiddie for me, but it was pretty good.
There were some good episodes. There was an episode with Ghost Rider that was actually really, really good. Ghost Rider and Hulk go to hell and fight demons and shit.
A couple of episodes of Ultimate Spider-Man I dug too, because there was one with Deadpool that was pretty good.
Oh, and you're talking about the old school Hulk that was the X-Men, Spider-Man Saturday morning cartoons, right? That Hulk.
No. Just recently in the Ultimate Spider-Man, they had the.
But you were mentioning earlier.
Back in when Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends first came on, the original Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends with Iceman, Firestar, one of the best Marvel cartoons ever, because they guest starred the X-Men. They had all of Spider-Man's villains would come on there.
Australian Wolverine.
Every once in a while, they'd have some one-note bullshit with a video game guy that nobody ever heard of. But a lot of times, they had the Chameleon would be the villain, or the X-Men would show up in it, or Captain America was in one or two. When that show was on, they had the double. It was an hour, superhero Marvel hour or something. And when that show came on, it was the Incredible Hulk had a cartoon series then, and then it was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and they showed them back to back early on. Well, the Hulk series got canceled Like, I think maybe it did one season, maybe two, and they got canceled. And Spider-Man's Amazing Friends went on a couple seasons.
Well,
But there was an original old 80s
yeah.
Incredible Hulk show that I really liked.
Well, in the '90s there was one as well, because in the '90s when you had the X-Men, you had the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, I remember that one too. Yeah,
there was a Hulk one. Do you remember, off topic again, but do you remember the old Thing cartoon where it was like some kid and he could turn into like the Thing?
That sucked, yeah.
Like the Thing ring.
Had like nothing to do with Ben Grimm at all.
Ben Grimm at all. But another good one, if you want to see the Hulk on screen, another good one would be what was that one? Hulk the Monsters one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's when
like Monsters
with the
Unleashed
monster.
or something?
Yeah, the Shield team of monsters.
Yeah.
Called? I can't remember what they're called now.
The Howling Commandos.
Yeah, the Howling Commandos. I thought they had similar, like, similar.
Maybe, but that one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one, and they had and Man-Thing was even in that cartoon.
Yeah,
when do you ever see a Man-Thing in a cartoon? Never.
Very rarely do you ever see Man-Thing in a cartoon.
Man-Thing was in that. No, but there's a couple good Marvel animated movies. I don't know why they don't do more of them, but another good Hulk is Planet Hulk is fantastic. If you get a chance to see Planet Hulk, get it. It's a good cartoon.
It was Hulk Where Monsters Dwell. That's what it is, where monsters dwell.
That one's. I think that may still be on Netflix or Amazon Prime.
That one was a good one because you had Hulk, you had Doctor Strange, Man-Thing, Nightmare, Warwolf.
It's a pretty family-friendly one as far as that goes too, because it's kind of based on Agents of Smash and
Vampire by Night was in there. Vampire by Night was in that one, so that's a good one too.
They had the Hulk versus Thor, Hulk versus Wolverine.
That was a good one. Yeah,
those more adult oriented. A lot of violence in those. If you're a parent,
that one's really good because that one, the way Hulk fights Thor, I thought was really well done because it was Asgardian magic with Bruce Banner and Hulk and.
Oh yeah, Baldur. You got the Warriors 3.
Sif was in it. It was great.
And the Hulk versus Wolverine was fucking A+ on that one. When Weapon X comes back, Deadpool's in that. Just the fucking bloody fight that the Hulk and Wolverine have in that. When the Wolverine's just sinking his claws like right into his neck.
Yeah.
And it's just like violent and gory as hell. And I love it. So Hulk versus for your adult time, the Where Monsters Dwell. Maybe the kids could watch that one.
Yeah, definitely. And, if you want some good comic books, anything with the Hulk in it is good. I also recommend, even though it's not a Hulk title, I recommend the first story in Savage Wolverine that had the Hulk in it.
Yeah.
That one has a pretty awesome fight between Wolverine and the Hulk, and it's also just fantastic artwork in that.
There's so much and so many alternate timelines because there's that weird timeline with the Old Man Logan and Old Hulk where they travel through time.
Yeah, isn't he? He's the what? What does he call himself? That Old Hulk.
He might still call himself Doc Green, he's not the Green Scar. It might have been Doc Green still at the time.
No, what did they? Oh God. Go ahead and keep talking, and I will. I'll get it.
Well, a lot of those guys that the Hulk is spot like Wolverine, he's also teamed up with those characters a million times too.
The Maestro.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The Maestro.
And there was that weird arc in it was one of those weird it was like a tie-in to some event, and it was like the backstory in some book of like 2 or 3 stories, and it was the Hulk and Old Man Logan were traveling around through timelines doing stuff. I don't remember exactly what they were doing, but it was pretty cool.
And I guess we should also mention, we mentioned the Amalgam Comics with Howard the Duck, how he was merged with Lobo. Well, the Hulk, he was merged with Solomon Grundy.
Which that does make sense. I would, I guess there's not really anybody else. That was kind of an odd thing. That Amalgam thing and the DC versus Marvel thing that happened right before it was like, that was a really weird. You'd think the opponents that they matched up would have been the ones that they converged together, but it wasn't. It was like Superman versus Hulk, but Superman ended up merging with Captain America.
Yeah.
And Wolverine ended up merging with Batman. And I don't know. Solomon Grundy and the Hulk does make sense. I mean, Solomon Grundy is essentially kind of a Hulk in the DC universe.
Yeah, there was a Hulk. There was a Hulk 2099. There's a lot of them. So
there's a really cool story where the Hulk, and I've been trying to actually find it in like trade form somewhere. It's like Hulk Last Man on Earth,
mm-hmm.
and it's the Hulk won't let Bruce Banner die. It's essentially the sun is about to burn out, and everything on the Earth is dead. But the Hulk is still wandering the wastelands of the world because the Hulk refuses to die, and he's immortal. And Banner just wants to die. Banner's just a really old man at this point, but he can't die because of the Hulk. And I'm not exactly sure how that plays out. I just heard about it, and I kind of want to get it. Yeah, I've never been able to find it in trade though. So if there's anybody out there that listens regularly to this show and they know what that story is called and where I can find it, let me know because I've been looking for it.
So with that, we're going to close out this talk of character history and backstory. We have one. This is interesting. Before we get into our comic reviews, we got one more week of a regular show before episode 175.
Oh, excellent. Also, one more thing. I will say to all those people, the next appearance, as far as I know, of the Banner Hulk will be in Avengers No Surrender number 684 coming out in March.
Yeah. So we have one more episode until Cool Bear comes on. And anybody who ever listens to one of our every 25 episodes knows that with Cool Beer, it's a lot of comic talk. We'll be talking Doomsday Clock, Metal.
Oh, man, so much. We got all of Rebirth, Doomsday Clock, Metal, what's going on at Marvel, the big shakeup with Alonzo and Bendis are gone, and I know I'm pretty sure Cool Beer's a big Bendis fan. I'm not positive.
I think Civil War II was still going on when last we talked to him, so we'll probably do a little closeout on, not Civil War II, Secret Empire.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do a little closeout on Secret Empire. But next week, once again, a regular show. And, Chief, I think continuing with our education of the masses, what do you say we go over to the DC side and give some history on John Constantine?
That sounds good to me. Hey, we're talking comics, you name it. Let's do it.
All right, let's do that next week because he's got a new animated series that's going to be coming out here shortly on the CWC.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I think Matt Ryan embodies Constantine in physical reality and in animation. So I'm looking forward to that.
So next week we'll talk about a character that made his debut and then had his own comic in Vertigo before coming back to the full DCU. We'll talk John Constantine next week. Going over to the DC side for a little bit. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We're about to do our comic reviews, but for those of you who don't want spoilers, we'll just go ahead and get everything out of the way right now. If you want to follow.
Also, there's much. Please go research the Hulk on your. There's so much we couldn't even get to in this because I ranted about The Walking Dead too long. But I implore you to go read the Hulk. It's his history. The ideas behind it, the Kirby and Lee's ideas to creating that character, it's all fucking great. And I highly recommend the Hulk, one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters.
So, if you want to follow us, you can follow Chief at Space Chief 75. You can follow me at NRDRG Renegades on Twitter. You can go to Facebook.com/NRR Truth Radio. YouTube is, of course, Nerd Rage Renegades. Just search us up. Once again, Beastmaster 3 out now. Commentary track. Go listen to that. And some gameplay footage. Stardust app, NRDRG Renegades, Nerd Rage Renegades on Instagram. We'll start populating that again.
The Nerd Rage Renegades are on the air every Wednesday on Podbean, Stitcher, Player FM, iTunes, Google Play, and every Thursday on GamingRebellion.com, Filling the Void Podcast Network, and now iHeartRadio.
So now we're going to have Crystal, the Nerd Rage Renegades AI, hit that spoiler alert because we're going to spoil a lot of DC Comics this week.
Yes, sir.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. The Renegades are about to spoil this week's DC Comics.
All right, this week in DC Comics, Doomsday Clock number 3.
Yes, and Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. What's the and? I
was going to say, and this gave us a clue. I don't know if this is going to end up being some kind of weird time shakeup, but I just happened to be watching the Watchmen movie today,
Okay.
and seeing Rorschach's grappling gun. We